Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. Hari Om. My salutations and prostrations at the feet of our Divine Master, Sri Swami Shivananda, and at the feet of Puja Swami Sahajananda. Hari Om to all camp participants. The purpose of this talk is to provide a holistic view of the topic, the law of karma, as far as is practically possible within the confines of this lesson and time allocation. The presentation does not claim to be conclusive and may have limitations as the subject is vast and complex. The intention is to be pragmatic and bring forth Gurudev Sri Swami Shivananda's and Puja Swami Sahajananda's views and teachings on the subject to the fore. The presentation is divided into the following parts or segments: overview of the law of karma, interconnection between the fundamental laws, sanchita, prarabdha, and kriyamana or agami karmas, destiny and self-effort, karma and reincarnation, Sri Gurudev's and Puja Swamiji's assurances, God's or Guru's grace, and conclusion. The presentation is complemented by audios and videos of the Divine Master and Puja Swamiji, whose poignant messages encapsulate the essence of the topic. Sri Gurudev in his book, Bliss Divine, introduces the law of karma as follows. Karma is a Sanskrit term that signifies action or deed. Any physical or mental action is karma. Thinking is mental karma. Karma is the sum total of our acts, both in the present life and the preceding birth. Karma means not only action, but also the result of an action. The consequence of an action is really not a separate thing. It is a part of the action and cannot be divided from it. The law of karma means the law of causation. Wherever there is a cause, there an effect must be produced. A seed is the cause of the tree, which is the effect. The tree produces seeds and becomes the cause of the seeds. The cause is found in the effect, and the effect is found in the cause. The effect is similar to the cause. This is a universal chain of cause and effect which has no end. No link in the chain is unnecessary. The world runs on this fundamental and vital law. This law is inexorable and immutable. This grand law operates everywhere in the physical and mental planes. No phenomenon can escape from the operation of this mighty law. All other laws of nature are subordinate to this fundamental law. No event can occur without having a positive, definite cause at the back of it. The breaking out of a war, the rise of a comet, the occurrence of an earthquake or a volcanic eruption, the outbreak of an epidemic, thunder, lightning, floods, diseases of the body, fortune, misfortune, all have their definite causes behind them. Having provided an overview of the law of karma, let us examine the interconnection between the law of action and reaction, the law of compensation, and the law of retribution. These form the grand law of causation. All these laws come under one general, all-embracing heading, namely, doctrine of karma. An overview of these four laws is necessary for an overall understanding of the law of karma. Sri Swami Shivananda explains the law of action and reaction in Bliss Divine as follows. If there is an action, there must be a reaction. The reaction will be of equal force and of similar nature. Every thought, desire, action, imagination, and sentiment causes reaction. Virtue brings its own reward. Vice brings its own punishment. This is the working of the law of karma. God neither punishes the wicked nor rewards the virtuous. It is their own karmas that bring reward and punishment. It is the law of action and reaction that brings the fruits. No one is to be blamed. The law operates everywhere with unceasing precision and scientific accuracy. The law of compensation operates in the world of nature. An example is a seed breaking from the ground and a tree emerging in accordance with the law of compensation. Similarly, fuel burns and is destroyed, but heat is generated in turn, in accordance with the law of compensation. Good people compensate for those who are evil. Peace follows war. Day follows night, etc. If one does an evil act, one will reap an undesirable fruit as compensation. The law of retribution states that every wrong action brings its own punishment, because it causes punishment to the inner individual nature first, and then to others. He who cheats another, in fact, cheats himself. He who robs another, robs himself. Sri Gurudev says that God is neither partial nor unjust, and that God is not responsible for the wealth of one or the poverty of another. We suffer on account of our actions. Further, there is a definite connection between what we do now and what will happen in the future. There is a definite connection between events, for they follow each other in regular order. This gives credence to the Master's assertion that there is nothing chaotic or capricious in this world, and that nothing happens in a disorderly fashion in the universe by accident or by chance. The Master advises that we should therefore act such that our actions will yield fruit now and hereafter. This then begs the question, what are the different types of karma and how are they connected? The three types of karma are explained in Yoga Lessons for Children, Volume 3, and in Bliss Divine. Sanchita karma is the storehouse of all the karmas that are yet to bear fruit and can be likened to unpaid accounts or the balance yet to be paid, and may be both good or bad. These cannot be changed, but we have to wait for them to come to fruition. This is an act of accumulation of our every action over countless previous births. Prarabdha karma is the karma that must be worked out in this present birth. This is born in the type of life we lead presently. What we enjoy, suffer, and experience in this birth is our prarabdha karma, both good or bad, and is selected by God from our sanchita karmas. Kriyamana karma or agami karma is the fresh karma that we are producing in our current life. We therefore have the opportunity to change our character and destiny. The law of karma therefore gives us hope for the future through encouragement and optimism. Nations, countries, organizations, and large entities are subject to the law of karma. In this case, it is called collective karma. Sri Swami Shivananda, in his book Practice of Karma Yoga, says, "The collective karma of a race or a nation is as much a fact in nature as an individual one. The same principles underlying the karmic laws apply, without much wide difference, to national and collective karma. Nations rise and fall. Empires flourish and are dismembered on the same ground. The wise heads in a nation should not neglect the dominating sway of this law," says the Master. What is the relationship between one's destiny and self-effort? Is the present and future one of doom and gloom? Nay, Sri Swami Shivananda assures us that even if the law of karma is inexorable, there is scope for divine grace. Grace comes through penitence or repentance. Sadhana, austerity, and devotion are of fundamental importance. Effort that we put in today will become the destiny of tomorrow. The Master says that penitence or repentance does not alter the law of karma, but its recurrence can be checked by self-effort. The Master's assurance that all is not lost is indicative in his words. Yoga practice consists of self-effort to neutralize the evil destiny which obstructs self-realization. If destiny is powerful, yoga is more powerful. Is this not reassuring indeed? What then is our role and responsibility, sisters and brothers? The Master boldly claims, "Destiny concerns the past only. The future is in your hands. You can change your destiny. You have a free will to act." The Master's bold assurance that you can nullify your destiny is refreshing and inspiring. Sri Gurudev's clarion call reverberates through the annals of spirituality when he says, "Destiny is your own creation, created by your thoughts and actions. You can undo them by right thinking and right action. Even as there is an evil or dark antagonistic force to attack you, you can diminish its force by resolutely turning your mind away from it. Thus you can disarm this destiny. Do not say, 'Karma, karma, my karma has brought me to this.' Exert, use self-effort, do austerities, concentrate, purify, meditate. Do not become a fatalist or yield to inertia. Do not bleat like a lamb. Roar, Om, 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 like a lion of Vedanta." Camp participants, the Master's assurance is pregnant with hope, provides courage to a despondent and forlorn humanity, and stands like a diamond amidst grains of sand in a somewhat hopeless and somber world. This is evident in the book Practice of Karma Yoga. The Master says, "A close study of this law gives encouragement to the man who has lost hope and to the desperate and ailing. Destiny is created by man's thoughts, habits, and character. There is every chance of his correction and improvement by changing his thoughts and his habits. The scoundrel can become a saint. The prostitute can become a chaste lady. A beggar can become a king. This mighty law provides for all this. The law of karma only can explain beautifully the inequalities of this world, such as why one man is rich while another is poor, why one is wicked while another is a saint, One is very dull, while another is a genius or a versatile prodigy. One is born decrepit, while another is strong and healthy, etc. How can you explain these inequalities? It is all karma. God can never be unjust or partial. In respect of the power and effect of thought on one's karma, the Master says that we can deliberately shape our character by cultivating sublime thoughts. He says, "You sow an action and reap a habit. You sow a habit and reap a character. You sow a character and reap your destiny. Hence, destiny is of your own manufacture. You yourself have built it, and you can undo it by entertaining noble thoughts, by doing pure, virtuous actions, and by changing your mode of thinking." The following video, entitled "You Are Not a Helpless Being, Modify Your Karma," with quotations by Sri Swami Shivananda, bears testimony to the above eloquent words. What is the effect of karma on reincarnation? In practice of karma yoga, Sri Swami Shivananda says that after death, this physical body, composed of 5 elements, is cast off like a slough or a coil of a snake. The inner astral body or linga sarira, which consists of 19 tattvas, namely 5 karma indriyas, 5 jnana indriyas, 5 pranas, mind, buddhi, chitta, and ahamkara, goes to heaven, comes back to the physical plane, puts on another physical body and reincarnates. It is this inner astral body that contains the impressions of karmas. It does not die. It continues to enter new bodies and depart from them. The process ends when one gets knowledge of the self and consequent emancipation from birth and death. When one dies, it is only the body that dies. The life force or soul within the body does not die. The soul leaves the body with its storehouse of karmas and samskaras, and at an ordained time re-enters the new body. It is the soul that carries with it the seeds of its karma. It will therefore suffice to say that our present and future conditions, attributes and levels of spiritual, moral, physical, intellectual, emotional, and psychological development are attributed to the law of karma. We experience the results of both selfless and selfish actions life after life. Sri Gurudev says in Bliss Divine, "Further, all your karmas cannot bear fruit in this life. Therefore, there must be another birth to enjoy the fruits of the remaining actions." Each soul has a series of births and deaths. Births and deaths will continue till you attain knowledge of the eternal. Camp participants, having discussed the different types of karmas, karma and reincarnation, and its attributes, what then is the road ahead? The Master has emphatically stated, none can escape the granite law of karma. At the precise moment, the great law brings together people and conditions for the fruition of one's past actions. On the topic how to settle karma, the Master says that even great saints have accepted calmly their karma, although some may have had the power to cure every suffering in an instant. Even saints are subject to the operation of prarabdha karma. This is evident in Yoga Lessons for Children, Volume 3. Sri Shankara, the saint philosopher of the 6th century, had a tumor on the backbone. Sri Ramakrishna had cancer of the throat. Sri Aurobindo had kidney trouble. The great master Sri Swami Shivananda harbored a host of ailments in his body, but ever bubbled with unbroken joy. He wrote some humorous poems welcoming these guests as messengers of God. The Master states that only when we earnestly seek to attain union with God and free ourselves from the shackles of karma will a glorious life of peace, joy, and bliss dawn upon us. Pujya Swami Sahajananda and the Master are shining examples and beacons of hope and light. We are fortunate that they have taken us into their folds. The following audio of Pujya Swami Sahajananda provides hope and inspiration in the face of challenges that we face.
Whatever karma you'll have to face, you'll have to go through it. You cannot avoid it. It is best to pay off whatever past karma is working out now. and not add more to it. If we remember the great law of karma, then most of our troubles will be over. We will not create new karma, but it will work out. Whatever karma is to be worked out, it's going to work out. And if you understand this law properly, then you'll be free from worries. If you lose financially, then you'll know that you're paying off. There was a very beautiful incident Antanarayan has quoted in Divine Life. There was in India, the cyclists, the whole streets are full of the cyclists, buses, and even the animals, cows, they go about in the streets, in the middle of the street. Sometimes they won't move out also. The passengers also, they'll move out only when the bus is about 1 yard behind them. They'll just go about like that. They don't care at all. Sometimes the bus driver will get out of the car, from the bus, and give the cows a slap and ask it to move out, and then go back into the bus. See? That is how the traffic is in India. So a cyclist was having trouble, and the cars and buses were whizzing past, and he was afraid. He thought he might get knocked down any moment. So he went onto the pavement and started repairing his cycle, but a car came and knocked him dead and killed him. All this clearly proved that karma is going to work out. See? But only in the case of those who have got a guru, the guru can ward off certain karmas. If you are destined to pass away, the guru can ward that off. See? The saints all say that only in the case of a disciple, you get special protection, which is not given to the ordinary man. But when the guru will save you and when he will not, when he will ward off a calamity and when he will not, that's in his hands. He will allow a certain calamity to go through because it might be necessary for your development. In other cases, he might stop it. He might stop your illness or something like that. But whatever it is, in true bhakti, we don't care where the guru leads us because we are holding his hand. It doesn't matter where he's going. Even if he goes to, always feel if Gurudev goes to hell also, take me to hell, it doesn't matter because there I might be able to render some sort of service. So wherever we go, wherever the guru leads us, we follow. That is the only way of getting peace of mind. I would advise all our devotees that a few things you'll have to do in order to develop bhakti, in order to develop faith. One is to have regular satsang at home. It's a must. See? This will give you protection. So many instances are given, see, in the case of our devotees who have been protected. I'm always reminded how Ram Jatan was going during the Nanda riots. He had a garage in that area, and every car that went past, it was stoned. But when his car came, he called for Gurudev, and he said that they had the stone like that, but the hand wouldn't come down. So Guru can do anything he wants to, but you will have to get used to calling him. You might call it the calling sadhana. See? You got to call at every moment. See? In the kitchen, wherever you are, you dedicate your work and you call upon him. So I advise everyone to have a regular satsang at home for 15 minutes or half an hour. And the Mahamrityunjaya mantra is a must for everyone because of the accident. We were coming just now, a car went past like a bullet. I think it was going about 170 or 180 kilometers. See? It just whizzed past. See? So you'll avoid accidents. So far, we haven't heard of any of the Divine Life members having any serious accidents and people are injured. But that's because you are doing the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. So all devotees must do the Mahamrityunjaya mantra 108 times a day. It takes about 12 minutes. See, if you say it fast, you'll finish it in 12 minutes. And see, Hanuman Chalisa also will give you protection for the house. See? So it's a must. If you want Gurudev's grace to help you, then you'll also have to do your share. See? Then faith will develop and you'll go nearer God.
Profound advice indeed. The role of the Guru in our lives cannot be underestimated. On the subject, God's or Guru's Grace, Yoga Lessons for Children, Volume 3 says, there is, however, one way by which one may bypass the law of karma and escape its evil consequences. That is by calling into action the divine grace or grace of one's Guru. Divine grace is God's power that is not subject to his own laws. How it operates is a mystery. It can be understood only by true devotees of the Lord. Selfless service, which is a great purifier of the mind and heart, virtuous thoughts and actions, attending satsangs regularly, steadfast sadhana, prayer, japa, meditation, charity, and translation into action of Sri Gurudev's song, serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize, will surely make life a little more bearable and insist in the onward journey. The Master says, if your faith and surrender to your Guru are firm, then any karma, however painful it may be, can be met by you with a cheerful and calm mind. Through sincere bhakti, Guru's grace can ward off the evil effects of one's karma. However, Sri Gurudev states that the Guru will not ward off the effects of all the disciples' karma. He will allow such karma to be worked out as will be beneficial for the spiritual growth of the devotee. Self-surrender to the Guru is a prerequisite in sadhana. Pujya Swami Sahajananda's 1991 Guru Purnima audio message, which is also contained in Path of Divine Grace, Volume 3, is a beautiful exposition of the power of self-surrender and how to face challenges.
All that you do is to try again and again to surrender. And when you get used to it, you'll find that it's impossible to go the opposite way, because your mind begins to revolve in one way only. It spins only in one way. So as the waves of anxiety and fear and insecurity come in your mind, then that is the time to practice self-surrender. That is the time to offer it to God. And surrender to God, and everything will work out as it wants to. Because whatever you do, the divine will is going to take its course. See? And what is going to happen is going to happen, so why worry about it? I given at one satsang, I gave the people the technique to worry. The way to do it is to worry as much as you can and get done with it. I also have worry, but I try to finish it in one night. And after that I finish with it. But many of you carry it with you for a long time. Some carry it for months also. You don't want to get rid of the burden. Because whatever your position is, you're going to have troubles and difficulties. And I had mentioned at satsang, I said, Gurudev has put me through to so much trouble that we can never describe it. Only now and then I told some of the devotees, some of them know, some might not know. See? Tragedy, death, you can name whatever it is, and Gurudev put me through everything, and I was quite happy because I felt that if I don't go through it, then I might not be able to help others. If I go through it, then I'll be able to feel for the sufferings of others also. How much I love Swami Atmananda. I always said that I met so many disciples of Gurudev, but Swami Atmananda was exceptionally different. You read about self-surrender, you read about obedience, you read about compassion and mercy, but if you had seen Swami Atmananda, then you would have known what these terms mean. See? And all of a sudden, he passed away. And I also wept. See, 2 days I broke down, but after that, it was finished and gone. So we must face all our difficulties. Whatever difficulties come in life today, we must face it. You must offer it to God and go through the whole mill.
We conclude with the Master's eloquent words from Bliss Divine. A close study of this law gives encouragement to one who is hopeless, desperate, and ailing. Destiny is created by man's thoughts, habits, and character. The Master continues, only the doctrine of karma can bring solace, contentment, peace, and strength to the afflicted and desperate. It solves our difficulties and problems of life. It gives encouragement to the hopeless and forlorn. It pushes a man to right thinking, right speech, and right action. It brings a brilliant future to one who obeys it. If all people understand this law correctly and discharge their daily duties carefully, they would rise to sublime heights on the ladder of spirituality. The following video, entitled You Are the Master of Your Own Destiny, compiled by Tripura Mandala, encapsulates the Master's explanation of the dictum, You are the Master of Your Own Destiny, and is an apt conclusion to this complex topic. Camp participants, let us translate into action the illustrious teachings of our Divine Master and Puja Swamiji, so that we offer ourselves as flowers, petals, scent, and all at the feet of our Divine Creator, so as to disarm destiny.
You are the master of your destiny. Courage is thy birthright, and not fear. Peace is thy divine heritage, and not restlessness. Immortality is thy birthright, but not mortality. Strength, not weakness. Health, not disease. Bliss, not sorrow. Knowledge, not ignorance. Pain, sorrow, and ignorance are illusory. These cannot live. Bliss, joy, and knowledge are true, they cannot die. You are the architect of your own fate. You are the master of your own destiny. You can do and undo things. You sow an action and reap a tendency. You sow a tendency and reap a habit. You sow a habit and reap your character. You sow your character and reap your destiny. Therefore, destiny is your own creation. You can undo it if you like. Destiny is a bundle of habits. Purusharth is self-exertion. Purusharth can give you anything. Change your habits. Change the mode of thinking. You can conquer destiny. You are now thinking, I am the body. Start the spiritual anti-current and think, I am mortal, diseaseless, sexless Atma. You conquer death and attain the immortal, see the supreme splendor. By virtuous deeds and right thoughts, you can disarm destiny. You have free will to act. By self-exertion, Ratnakar became Valmiki. By self-exertion, Markandeya conquered death. By self-exertion, alone did Udvalaka attain lyrical samadhi, highest realization. By self-exertion, Savitri brought back her husband Satyavan to life. Therefore, apply yourself tenaciously, O pray. Walk the inquiry and meditation. Be vigilant and diligent. Till the thoughts and desires overcome tomorrow, evil by today's self-exertion. Destroy unholy desires, Ashubha Vasana. Through holy desires, Subha Vasana. Slay unholy thoughts by holy thoughts and gain victory over your destiny. Do not yield to fatalism. Do not become important. Stand up like a lion. Set at a time, independent, Atma Swarajya. There's the magazine of power within you. There's the vast ocean of knowledge within you. All faculties are latent in you. Unfold them and become a Jivan Mukta, liberated soul. Positive overcomes the negative. This is the immutable law of nature. Purusharth, self-exertion, is a mightier power. Purusharth is the lion or the elephant. Prarabdha, destiny, is the cat or the jackal.
God helps those who help themselves. Vasishtha asked Rama to do Purusharth. Fatalism will certainly induce inertia and laziness. Therefore, gird up your loins and exert yourself to the utmost to pray. May you all attain self-realization and Brahmacharya in this very birth. May you all live immersed in the ocean of bliss and indulgent state. May you shine as liberated sages. Oh.
Hari Om. In this auspicious month of Ram Navami and Sri Hanuman Jayanti, our grade 0 to 4 spiritual darlings will now present their offering, entitled The Glory of Lord Rama and Sri Hanuman, taken from the book Hindu Fasts and Festivals by Sri Swami Shivananda.
Ram Navami is the birthday of Lord Rama, who is the 7th avatar of Lord Vishnu.
Lord Rama took birth to destroy the demon Ravana, so he could protect his devotees and establish righteousness. He was the crown prince of Ayodhya, the son of King Dasaratha and Queen Kaushalya.
Lord Rama can be described as virtuous, brave, and courageous, yet gentle and modest, sweet in speech and handsome in appearance, a great warrior, a defender of the weak, and protector of righteousness. The joy of Kshatriya and valiant like Lord Vishnu. These are just few words to describe Lord Rama.
Let Sri Rama be your ideal. Ideals teach us how to live our lives. Lord Rama was the ideal son, ideal brother, ideal husband, ideal friend, and ideal king.
Lord Rama ruled his people so perfectly that his rule came to be known as Ram Raja. Lord Rama had 3 brothers, Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughan, who were ever loyal to one another.
Lord Rama had great strength and talent, and with much dignity and calmness, he lifted the bow of Lord Shiva and won his beloved Sita.
The name of Sri Rama is the greatest purifier of the heart. It wipes away all sins. The name is sweeter than the sweetest objects. Sri Swami Shivananda says, O blessed devotee, recite his name, sing his glories, and serve at his holy feet. Glory to Sri Rama and his name.
Hanuman Jayanti is the birthday of Lord Hanuman, who is known as the greatest devotee of Sri Ram.
Lord Hanuman loved Lord Rama. He had faith in Lord Rama, and he thought in Shri Ram all the time.
Sri Hanuman possessed devotion and knowledge, the spirit of selfless service, power of celibacy, and had no desires. He was very humble and never showed off about his bravery and intelligence.
We come to know about Lord Hanuman for the first time from the Ramayana. Lord Hanuman was an ideal selfless worker and a true karma yogi. He served Sri Rama with pure love and devotion without expecting any fruit in return. He lived to serve Sri Rama. Sri Hanuman always comes to the rescue of his devotees. Sri Hanuman wins everyone's admiration and reverence for the performance of illustrious miracles. He remains the most loyal servant of Lord Rama.
People worshipped Lord Hanuman with devotion and faith, reciting his hundreds of names. Each of these names has very special meanings. First, let me tell you a few of these. Anjaneya means the son of Anjana. Bajrangabali means one with hands and legs that are as powerful as that of lightning. Pavanaputra means the son of the wind god. Ramaduta means the messenger of Sri Ram. Kesari Nandan means the son of Kesari. Sankatamochan means the remover of all sorrows and hurdles.
Sri Hanuman is worshipped all over the world, either alone or together with Sri Rama. Let us take advantage of these two auspicious days to saturate ourselves with the spirit of Sri Rama and Sri Hanuman. One should become divine in order to be able to worship God. Jai Sri Rama, Jai Sri Hanuman.
We should all try our best to follow the noble example of Lord Rama and Lord Hanuman. From them, we learned that good always conquer evil. Swami Shivananda says, on Hanuman Jayanti and Ram Navami, we should fast and chant as much as we can. Read the Hanuman Chalisa. You will be blessed in all the undertakings. Glory to Sri Hanuman. Glory to Sri Rama. Om Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.
Hari Om, dear camp participants. Thank you for tuning into our yoga camp online lessons. Please note that satsang will commence at 11 a.m. and a WhatsApp link will be sent to you shortly. Om.